2018, where they'll begin 2019 right here in the Queen City. And welcome into the booth. Joe Block and Bob Walk with you here today. One more for the road for the Buccos. We look back at this season. It was a winning season for the Pirates. There were a lot of highlights, of course, and really some individual performers, too, that really stood out this year.
Yeah, we're definitely going to highlight some of those today. And, you know, any kind of season, you're going to have those bright spots that you really love talking about. Jamison Tyone this year really came forward and became one of the elite pitchers in the National League, and might be talking about Cy Young stuff next year for him. It's just a fantastic season. And what more can you say about Trevor? Everything we say about Tyone, just pass it down to Trevor. He was unstoppable. How many zeros did he put up every single inning this year that he was out there? Just an awesome season for him. And I thought that this shot here, look at Felipe's grip on the ball. He's throwing a change-up there. This year, I think he became more of a pitcher, not relying just on his fastball all the time. Still throws well over 100 miles an hour, but started really using some of those other four pitches to great effect. Corey Dickerson getting there in spring training. You know, everything was kind of in an uproar. Who was going to play in the outfield? Well, Corey went out there, and look what he did. I mean, he was outstanding. And we heard he couldn't catch the ball. He was fantastic out in left field. Gregory Polanco started out hot, but then really had a little bit of a cold area there. But once he started getting some swings in, had that little discussion with Parker. Remember that? He started getting incredibly hot. Last 70 games, OPS almost 1,000. Adam Frazier got called up from his little stint in the minor leagues, started ripping the cover off the ball. And in that stint right there, those 55 games, he basically won the second base job for next year.
And those are all guys that'll be back with the Pirates next season as we look forward to 2019. But here one more in 2018. Clay Holmes will start the finale here in Cincy. The Pirates and the Reds coming up next right here on AT&T Sportsnet. Pirates 161. The final game, we know that for sure. Clay Holmes will start that here this afternoon, and for him, a good season in the minor leagues and trying to finish strong for the Buccos this year.
Yeah, up here, he's got the velocity. We've seen that. He's got the great movement on the fastball. A nice sink to it. One thing that's been missing is the consistency of his command. Got to get that straightened out. That's what I'm looking for today.
There may be games 163 for some teams tomorrow. It'll all be decided today. Let's check in with Rob King, as we will throughout the afternoon with a game break. Have some fun while they're doing it. First, the RAV4 lineup for Clint Hurdle's Buccos today. Reyes, Marte, and Bell atop the order with Diaz, Moran, and Osuna. Kramer and Newman and Clay Holmes for the RAV4 lineup for the Buccos here in Cincinnati. It is warm and feels like maybe even a late summer type day rather than early fall.
It certainly is going to be a summertime day. Got to be about 80, right?
Yeah, we've been having some very good weather here in the home stretch.
Romano his numbers on the season. ERA needs some work. I want to have it up in the 5s at the end of the year, but we'll have to work on that next year. Too late now.
Pablo Reyes, delight here in September.
And I put himself on the radar a little bit, didn't he?
Over 300 to start the day, and with a good afternoon, he can finish there. But he's retired to start things here this afternoon. Eugenio Suarez over at third for the Reds. The Honda defense with Peraza and Herrera in the middle. Votto across the diamond. Schebler, Hamilton, and Irvin in the outfield. And Tim Fedorovich, a veteran catcher. The backstop for Jim Riggleman's Reds. Will it be his last game managing the Reds, or just the next of many more? Final day as interim manager, we know that. He will be part of the group that is considered to be the Reds' full-time manager next season. He's been their skipper for just about the whole season this year. And Peraza will throw out Marte, starting off with the pace that normally takes place in the final day of the
final game. Yeah, we'll see a lot of, if it goes to the schedule, you see a lot of short counts, a lot of 2-1 pitches being put in play.
C.B. Buckner is the home plate umpire today. Latrobe's Jansen Visconti added to the crew today over at first, and Brian Onora is the crew chief standing at second.
It's never etched in stone that they'll be doing that, but especially historical. You look back to the old days, you'd always have the real quick games on the getaway day when two teams aren't really involved in anything. Didn't happen last year, though. We're over, what, 4 hours?
Yeah, that was a National League record. Hard to forget how memorable that was. Is that what happened, Bob?
It was very memorable for you.
Yeah, that was a memorable day, to be sure. Yeah. Trying to finish the year this year. Quick inning. 1, 2, 3 for Romano. And the Redlegs will come to bat against Clay Holmes. Daughter, just come on out and enjoy the afternoon here in Cincinnati. The Reds lineup here today: Jose Peraza is atop the order with Hamilton and Votto. Eugenio Suarez, good year overall, and against the Pirates, Schebler and Irvin, Herrera and Fedorovich in front of Sal Romano, who will bat ninth today against Clay Holmes.
And Clay will, as we were talking about before, try to attack the hitters with that good sinker of his and have some good short counts himself. Get some balls put in play real early on.
If he throws strikes, he's very effective. He's got great stuff.
He has a very good fastball that's got a lot of downward movement.
You go back to that outing he had against the Brewers in that 5-game sweep. One of the probably the more fun moments throughout the season. But he had 6 shutout innings against a very good Brew Crew lineup there. And the one difference I think that we've seen from that and many of his other starts is he was challenging hitters. He used that good stuff. Right back off of him.
Yeah, good job knocking that one down.
You can hear the thud all the way up here.
Didn't hurt him, but I mean, there's no problem. Just get the ball, let's go. That's everybody asking me questions for.
I like that. A native of Slocum, Alabama. Well, if you're going to get hit, if you're a pitcher especially, that's probably where you got the most meat right there in the thigh.
Yeah.
Strong legs.
I remember the very last game I pitched in my career. I got hit with a line drive in almost exactly the same spot right in my thigh. And the bruise was still there on Thanksgiving. But yeah, you just, when it's a, you know, when it's in a big muscle like that, you just get the ball back and okay, well, nothing to do about it now.
Down the line, but foul.
You know, as long as you're not getting hit in the elbow or, you know, kneecap or your hand, or hopefully nothing up, you know,
above the shoulders.
Above
there,
the shoulders,
yeah.
and you know what are you going to do about it? Yeah, okay, that hurt for a second.
Ball and a strike to the speedster. Hamilton legged out a triple yesterday. And we'll keep you posted on all the scores on the lowdown. The Dodgers off to an early start. They and the Rockies are tied atop the West. As Rob King told you earlier, the Cubs and the Brewers are tied atop the Central. If it remains that way after today, by either or both of those divisions, then there'll be a 1-game playoff tomorrow.
A 1-game playoff.
Hamilton's going to get 2 out of that.
Tough to keep him from it.
I mean, Osuna goes after this full tilt, and
absolutely, there's nothing to do. It's Hamilton. Now, if it's a clean ball going through the infield, it's going to be a single. But as soon as the ball got slowed down, and Hamilton knows this. How about the way he took his first couple steps out of the box? Hard. Now, he did that because, you know, he's thinking infield hit. This could be, you know, a dive, and I got to beat the ball to first. But he turned what he was originally thinking might be an infield hit into a double. Quite a talent, but I don't know if he'll ever get the hitting thing down consistently.
That's all he's got to do to get a double. And he's very tough when he puts the ball on the ground, which is completely opposite of what just about everybody's trying to do these days.
If he could just cut his strikeouts down and get another 50 balls put in play a year, think what that would do for him.
Oh yeah, everybody's biting their fingernails before he swings a bat.
But I'm sure this has been explained to him over and over again in his career, and he just at this point has never been able to get the strikeouts down.
It's a difficult game. That's why we enjoy watching it.
It's not easy for any of them.
The people that are great, even Votto in a down year this year, he's just going to lead the National League in on-base percentage for the 7th time in his career. His standards are so high. He's drawn over 100 walks again. He's not going to help Holmes out here. Hamilton going to third. Ball 4. And 1-0 Cincinnati. Run scoring walk.
And again, let's go back to Hamilton. What he did with a ground ball to the right side. He turned that ground ball in the right side into a run.
Because of his speed.
Yeah. He has a unique ability. You know, maybe 1 or 2 guys in the league that can do what he does on the bases. Probably would have been better off just kind of conceding, not even making that throw. It looked like he was going to be in there easy anyway. Pretty good jump from second base.
And now Suarez. So after that walk, he's trying to take third. The ball's live. He's not being forced. Now the Reds, who won yesterday, the Pirates took the opener of the series. Pirates will easily take the season series from Cincinnati. But an oddity, if the Reds win today, they'll finish at 68 and 94 for the 3rd straight season. No team has had the exact amount of wins and losses in a season before 3 straight years. That's kind of a, I mean, obviously they want to be better than that, but that's a weird oddity.
Treading water right there.
But individuals who stood out, Suarez chiefly among them, signing that 7-year contract extension before the season. Became an all-star. Has been a reliable third baseman the last couple of years now. And one of the best offensive third basemen in the league. Moran starts 2. That erases the walk, but the Reds get a run through 1 with the Reds on top 1-0.
Is brought to you by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas. Bordas & Bordas, fighting for justice. Let's go Bucks!
Billy Hamilton uses his legs to get around the bases and give the Reds an early lead. 1-0 Cincinnati for Sal Romano.
Now we were talking in the open about several bright spots this year. And I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, is the offense that Pirates have gotten out of that catching position this year.
No doubt. I mean, 10 home runs from your backup catcher, but 286, and that just went up. Another hit for Diaz.
Put their numbers together. Wow.
And these are above average. They put up above average numbers behind the plate too, in terms of their defense, throwing out attempted base stealers, things like that. So you're not just putting in a couple of guys that have good bats. They play an all-around game, and Diaz has improved quite a bit in both facets. And of course, Cervelli career highs as well in home runs and RBIs. So I'm with you on that. Name me a better duo throughout baseball.
Getting 20 home runs out of the catching position is not easy to do, not easy to find.
With batting average, with on base, and with the defensive abilities those guys have.
It's really not a negative either. I think to have it, split up in whatever way, 2/3, 1/3, whatever it is. You're able to give guys rest in a very physically demanding position, which I look at as a positive when you have two guys.
Yeah.
When you have like a Yachty or Molina, where you have all those good qualities wrapped up into one guy, you're taking a pretty important bat out of your lineup every time you try and get him a day off, and you're always trying to get a day off for your catchers.
Or if he has an injury, then you're really decimated.
Yeah.
And when Cervelli had concussion symptoms, no big deal. Put Diaz in there, and Pirates are in good shape. As we finish up this year, think about next year. Season tickets now available for 2019. Full, half, and 20 game plans available. You can pick the plan that fits your needs. There are year-long benefits. You get a price discount, flexible exchange policy, a team store discount, a whole lot more for being a Pirates season ticket holder. Go to pirates.com/season tickets. Find out all about it. Jose Osuna had a very fine year again at AAA, and up and down from the Pirates. Learned to play third base in winter ball last year, and here at the big league level as well as AAA, and has looked nimble and smooth over there. There's a very good shot that he'll be with the Pirates on opening day next season. Now, he was blocked, with between Freese and Moran and Bell. Where was he going to play? But there's no more David Freese on the Pirates. Could be the backup corner man. Look at the lowdown, keeping you posted on everything going on. The Cardinals with an early lead. Paul DeJong with an RBI. The Rockies with an early advantage too. So both the Rockies and Dodgers off to early leads. The Cubs trailing, and Milwaukee and Detroit the other game scoreless early. All the games begin roughly the same time in unison on baseball's final day. What a cool thing. I've loved this. Right back to Romano. He takes care of the Pirates in the second. Still 1-0 Cincy. game number 161. Rock moving over to the other booth. Greg Brown swinging over. I was leaving. We were having a baby.
I was wondering why Rock had an eye on. He's on the radio.
Thanks to you guys for taking over that second to last game of last season, and of course the finale.
I had to quickly make sure I wasn't wearing the same tie as I was that day.
Everybody staying where they're at here today. Thanks again for you guys, and proud to say that our little girl Mary Claire turns 1 year old today. So happy birthday, Mary Claire. Can't wait to be home to see you.
It'll always be easy to remember her birthday.
Yes. It was a very memorable time. I didn't get there in time, but no one else did either. She came very fast, so
she didn't get there on time either. She was early.
Yeah, she was early. So that was great. So thanks to you guys again. I get to finish out a season today, which is fun. Clay Holmes even to the leadoff man, Schebler. You're in the red second. Always enjoy the final day of the season when it's this atmosphere, because there's just a lightness to it. You know, of course you want to be having it matter and having it mean something, but if it doesn't, you go through a whole season where you're trying to figure out how to find a win and what who to put in here and who to bring up and all the moves to make and everything. And then that last day, it's almost as if you can just exhale.
This is the last day of school. You know, everybody's showing up and just talking and
playing.
Yeah, and that's the way it is for everybody on a beautiful afternoon like this on the last day, when, as you said, there is nothing really at stake now for these teams. And I think that the fans look at these games, especially this one on the last day, a little different.
Yeah, you just come out and just for the leisure of things, just for the fun of being at the ballpark, just the sounds of the organ, or maybe going to have a hot dog before. I mean, the hot dogs taste better at the ballpark, right? I guess, I mean, that kind of stuff. So
they always do.
Yeah. The weather's been so nice. Pretty soon to be raking leaves full force.
Shoveling snow.
Oh yeah.
Spreading salt.
Yeah, the only salt here is on the pretzels. Look at that. Milwaukee with 2 first inning runs against Detroit. They've got Gio Gonzalez going. Cubs are trailing early. Yeah, the Brewers have the lead early. So remember, those teams tied for the division lead. It could go down to like we've seen that before, 1987. That was when Detroit and Toronto were tied, playing one another in that game. May have to go down to a game tomorrow to decide either the West or the Central or both, just to see who would be the wild card and who would be the division winner. And as you were pointing out, if you then are the wild card team, then you have to play a 1 game just to continue. It could get really crazy.
But today is kind of like a 1 game playoff for everybody. And although it's not like they're going home, but still there's a lot on the line in 1 game. And then you might have to play a actual 1 game playoff to see who goes to what is essentially a 1 game playoff. It is
it's wild.
A great scenario that baseball has come up with.
Yeah.
And it's not perfect. Perfect would be the winners of every division going, but you just don't have enough divisions to have that. So
now the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead.
So the 1 game or the wild card was a nice compromise.
I think so. It's about as good as you can get in a divisional format. Not everyone plays all the same teams at the same times, and
someday, if
but it's pretty close.
Through expansion, maybe you'll have 4 divisions, and that would make it a little different. But with 3, you got to do something, and so I like what they've done.
Yeah, because before the second wild card, And we saw this a few different seasons. Two teams are tied for the division at the end, or and they're among the four that were going to go to the postseason. There's just seeding. Sometimes there's one out, and there's two. A double play on Irvin off the bag. And I was looking up at second. Schebler had scampered back.
Well, you get doubled off on a line drive. When the line drive is the same size of the side of the field you are, but you don't ever want to get doubled off first base on a line drive to the other side of the infield.
That means you went a long way.
Yeah, that's what happened to Irvin. Line drive to the second baseman, you're going to get caught off first base quite a few times, but not the shorter third.
Tim Fedorovich. These are the days too that I enjoy watching guys like Tim Fedorovich, a name that probably most don't know, but one of those guys that as a catcher has played very little in the major leagues throughout the years. He plays a lot of his time at AAA, different organization every year, maybe two within a year. Plays in all these different AAA cities, but gets a chance to play in a major league game here toward the end of the year. And the different stories that unfold before our eyes. Some get tucked away. We may not hear from Fedorovich again for a long time. Or maybe just one of those things. Hey, I remember when that backup Reds catcher did something, for instance.
And now he's American League Manager of the Year.
Yeah, you never know.
Those are things that happen in this game where.
Yeah, the Jeff Bannister is that's what you're referring to.
Perfect example. I wasn't even thinking about that, but that's exactly. Yeah, Jeff.
One at bat.
Yeah, it's just a cup of coffee, but years later, American League Manager of the Year. There's no predicting what path you'll follow and where it's going to lead.
Could be talking about Clay Holmes as remember that first year with Clint Hurdle. Some are phenoms, right? Like Hurdle coming up just after they turn age 20 with all the herald as can be. Or you can come up to the major leagues and hit a home run into the upper deck.
Into the second deck, yes. That'll be a memorable last day for him. Way out of here.
His first home run in the big leagues this year, and the 8th of his 7-year major league career. Well, a double play helped out there. Came up in 2011 with the Dodgers and hit that one over that recessed bleacher area there in left field. So Holmes behind 3-0. Let's look at StatCast AI powered by AWS. 397 feet. Yeah, when you hit it in that upper deck area, that's several rows back up there. And Tim Fedorovich making a name for himself here in the second.
American Ballpark. I'm Robbie. It's Mikowski. Well, Clint Hurdle has quite an impressive resume as a major league manager. In fact, he's got 1,199 career wins. And yesterday he discussed what number 1,200 would mean to him before the season comes to a close.
There's a point in time in the game where if you're fortunate enough and you've done things well enough in the eyes of others, you get an opportunity to continue to do them. That I guess it has some meaning on some different levels. I'm not. If it finished at 11.99, at the end of the day, really, what's the difference?
Well, it's still pretty impressive. The difference would be the company that he would join, Joe and Bob. We're talking about Bruce Bochy, Mike Scioscia, Buck Showalter, and Terry Francona. Some of those guys have won multiple World Series. That would be quite the company to be mentioned with should the Pirates come back and get a victory today to 1,200th of Clint Hurdle's managerial career. In case, if he doesn't, pretty safe to say he'll win 1,200 here at Great American Ballpark. Right, Joe?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Robbie. The Pirates will be opening up next season here in Cincinnati. Our Barrel Automotive League leaders, wins among active managers. Hurdle will be moving up that list, it looks like, next year, as Mike Scioscia managing his final game with the Angels today. So that will probably move up the list unless Scioscia wants to get back into it. But for Clint Hurdle, an accomplished career. And you know, I was thinking about him today going into all the afternoon's games around baseball, because the potential one-game playoff tomorrow, or two of them, in fact. Of course, his 07 Rockies with that 13-inning win over the Padres at Coors Field, of the play at the plate. Of course, the controversy surrounding that, the comeback against Trevor Hoffman, and then they go all the way on to the World Series after that tremendous September that they had to get to have the right to play in for that lone wild card spot at that time. So a part of the magic of this time of year, and Clint Hurdle, of course, a big part of that back in 07.
Well, 1,200 is definitely a nice number, and it does put him in some nice company. And he can at times, as you know, be a little philosophical, and I think he was there saying, you know, if it ends at 11.99, you know, what difference does it make? And he really, I think, you know, believes in it. He measures his success in other ways that aren't necessarily reflected in a number in a column somewhere. And you know, he's more about his relationships with people, and you know, and as we know, he does a tremendous amount of good work off the baseball field. And there was some pretty good work right there on the baseball field. How about that catch?
Phillip Ervin taking a hit away from Newman. Well, they say that he's a pretty good defensive outfielder, and we've seen that on display occasionally.
It's a warm day, and I think he's just trying to get to the shade here as quick as you can. And lay down for a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. 80 degrees. That was a heck of a play.
A very good defender out of Samford in Birmingham, Alabama.
I'll give him a redeemer now for getting picked off first base earlier. Doubled off.
Right.
That's a heck of a catch.
Make it out, take one back.
Well, that ball made contact with the glove about maybe 6 inches from before it hit the grass.
Salutations for his right fielder. Clay Holmes with some solid contact. Well, that sounded good. Right toward Peraza. And Romano faces the minimum through the first three, thanks to Phillip Ervin's glove. injury update. And for the Pirates, good news, Jordan Luplow appendectomy. He's going to be just fine here pretty soon. Gregory Polanco is going to miss a portion, whether it's weeks or months, of next season to begin. Edgar Santana will not pitch next season. Tommy John, neither will Chad Kuhl. Joe Musgrove should be back and ready to work out on time this year. And Chris Archer, just a groin concern. He was supposed to start today, but just going to end the year on a healthy note. And having some fun with Kemper today. One of the many Reds mascots. And oh, there goes his frappe or whatever that is.
Don't trust him. Don't trust him. See? You knew that was coming.
And then signing some autographs today. He put that on for a picture. He is always very social and trying to get around, and on days he's not pitching, to sign autographs, and like a lot of the guys, but he really makes a point of it. He's been
he goes
pleasure to talk
above
to.
and beyond what is considered kind of like the normal interaction that you have with fans. A little bit here and there as you go to and from your business out on the field. He goes out purposely on days that he has nothing out there really to do, and works his way along. It doesn't matter if it's at home, on the road, wherever. He's out there putting a smile on the faces of a lot of kids.
And as we look toward 2019, he's going to be a big part of this. I mean, he pitched a lot better in September, an ERA of 2.70, more Archer-like after an adjustment period in August. The makings of a very, very good rotation are already there. A good play to get Peraza to start the inning.
Yeah, I think for a moment there, the Reds thought that perhaps Bell's foot came off the base, but the throw certainly beat him. I don't think that was a question.
Seeing that on that first replay, Bell didn't look like he was anywhere near the bag at that time. Yeah, Moran finding the hop he wanted, charging that.
Watch his foot.
A game of higher stakes. He might. Oh no, he might have stayed on.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was real close.
Yeah, that's not going to be challenged in a game like today. I'd be surprised if anywhere except the games that we've been watching, getting reports on, those are the only ones there'll be any challenges in today.
And the Dodgers with a 6-0 lead over San Francisco in the third inning on the lowdown. Rockies with an early advantage. Tyler Anderson going for Colorado today, so both teams tied for the NL West lead, both leading their foes on the final scheduled day. And if they do have a playoff to win the West, it would be tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. You can make your holiday card stand out. Take your family photo in the clubhouse at PNC Park. They're now accepting reservations for dates in November. Season ticket holder rates are available as well. Go to pirates.com/holiday photos. That's a nice idea. It'll be that time before we know it. Votto worked to walk his first time around. Holmes going for his first 1-2-3 inning. We've enjoyed watching him in spring training and then different flashes this season where he's been outstanding. Always difficult to figure out what to do with a guy when he's starting to pitch well at the AAA level, but maybe you don't have a spot for him as a starting pitcher here. The Pirates with 5 above average to excellent starting pitchers. He's going to work a 1-2-3 inning. Reyes retires Votto. And the Reds still lead by 3. Pablo Reyes with his first career home run, the first of 3 we've seen so far. That one shot off of today's Brewers starter, Gio Gonzalez. That's been fun to watch the firsts for some of the younger Pirates, many of whom here in this final month audition may be with the Buccos next season.
And Reyes, I think, is the guy that surprised everybody. We didn't hear a whole lot of him over the last couple of years. Obviously, we've heard a lot of Newman and Kramer, followed their ascent. So when Pablo got up here and just started cracking the ball all over the place, I mean, it really made you stand up and open your eyes a little bit.
Gabriel Guerrero will take over in center field so that Billy Hamilton can get a round of applause. Joey Votto just took off his uniform top and handed it to a fan. He's going to come out too. And Hamilton doing the same thing. You don't think there's going to be a line for that? Wait a minute, I could get Billy Hamilton's shirt. Votto's out. So Riggleman was explaining to C.B. Buckner how he wanted to handle that. How about that for a souvenir today? He was just wearing that.
It's got dirt all over it from when he was stealing bases an hour ago. Yeah, it's nice. Nice deal there.
Let's watch Pablo run. Dixon just in the game.
That was a heck of a play.
Straight cheddar from Romano. Threw that one hard.
When this ball gets laid down, okay, that's a hit. And Romano, he's fallen off to the first base side, so I mean, not an easy play to make. And he got some help. Watch his pick.
Dixon was brought in the game 30 seconds ago. Another guy who can run, Starling Marte. Still hoping for home run number 20. He's been waiting about 3 weeks for that. That would be a new career high for him. And also put him in that vaunted 2030 Pirates club. Well, he's trying for one there. And to the deepest part of this ballpark. Instead, it'll be a double. Thought he might have had it.
He needed to pull it just a little more. If he gets that straightaway left, it's out of here. when you're looking for a home run, you hit one like that on the last day. It's got to be a little frustrating.
That was solidly struck.
Almost dead center. And watching it as it leaves the bat, he's probably thinking, did I get it? And right about now, he realizes, nope, just bounced in. Little, I think his heart was in the turn left, right.
391 feet, but for 2 bases. And Schebler gets Bell for the second out. Pirates trying to crack the scoreboard. Well, with 2 outs, Marte can certainly score on a base hit. Elias Diaz had one his first time around. Trying to add to a fine season. Well, he talked about it coming in to this year that, you know, catchers have to hit at the major league level, and didn't want to leave that as an excuse, just being good behind the plate. And did he ever, especially against lefties, but overall, a very fine campaign.
Yeah, I thought that he had a chance to be a pretty good line drive hitter, even when signed for the very first time in his first spring training. But I never imagined that he was going to have, you know, double-digit home run potential, especially, you know, double-digit home runs, you know, when he's not playing every single day.
Yeah, 250 at bats, about half a season's worth. Marte left on. And Sal Romano so far blanking the Buccos.
Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
3-0. The Redlegs trying to take this final series of 2018. Glad you're with us here on the final day. That's a nice helmet, all signed by all the Pirates. That's one to use in the game right there. That's not one that you put the ice cream in.
No, that's a good-looking helmet right there. That'll go in the game room on a shelf.
Yeah. Eugenio Suarez starts off. Osuna trying to work into that shade. You joked about that earlier.
Warm. Everybody's trying to get over the shade.
Well, we're not going to see Corey Dickerson today. His batting average came out to 300 after a 1-for-3 day yesterday. Clint Hurdle pulled him out before his final at bat. Corey Dickerson with a fine season. Right back there. He's bashful.
He's hiding.
Yeah.
What a year he had, though.
Let's go down to Robbie. What do you got on Corey?
How about this, guys? In typical Corey Dickerson fashion, I saw him walking out. He's actually wearing spikes right now. He's not wearing tennis shoes because you know he's not going to play in the game today. Clint Hurdle's not going to put him at the plate to risk his 300 average, but he's wearing spikes. I said, what are you doing? You're not even going to play today. He goes, hey, you never know. Might need to pinch run at any point in time, and I got to be ready. I mean, how much does that just speak to the mindset of a guy like Corey Dickerson, knowing he's not going to play today, but he's wearing spikes right now?
That's great.
So he could pinch run.
Yeah. Great observation, Robbie. Yeah.
They have to go in late and play left field for some reason. I mean, that really. I love the fact that Robbie noticed that. That's Corey Dickerson right there.
And he said it. He wants to be an example for everybody else and be accountable for who he is on the field. And really, he's done that this year.
I think he really shut up some naysayers this year about his defensive play also.
I hope he wins the Gold Glove. Because they're separated, left, center, and right. You brought up a good point. We were talking on the radio side yesterday. Who is better in the National League in left field this year defensively? And now we see some teams 3 times there and here. Maybe we're speaking out of turn a little bit, but certainly within the division we see guys enough, and I can't pick out anybody that I would say definitively is better. So Dickerson might have a shot if he gets in there for it. Certainly should be a finalist at the very least.
I like the way they've broken up the outfield now, and left fielders, center fielders.
Instead of giving it to 3 center fielders every year.
That's the way it used to be. Is the true glove guys were always your center fielders, so they just had 3 of them for the Gold Glove. But the way they do it now really makes a lot of sense, and it points out the abilities of somebody like Dickerson, who is not elite on defense, but for his position he plays in left field, yeah, he's one of the best.
And that's why Marte was the gold standard out there, because a lot of times in the corners, right, you have.
Yeah, he would really stand out. Yeah, you put more of your offensive guys in the corners and your defense in center. Traditionally, that's the way it goes.
Schebler's running, and it's fouled. And you can see the stitched on gold colored Rawlings on that glove, and for the Gold Glover,
a lot more competition out in center field for that Gold Glove.
Trying to dethrone Ender Inciarte of the Braves. There are a lot of fine center fielders that we've seen this year. The Cardinals might have a guy who's going to win one in the future, in Harrison Bader. He's come on the scene this year too. Phillip Ervin down on strikes. Second strikeout for Holmes. St. Louis with Bader at the bat, still leading the Cubs, and the Brewers with an early 2-0 lead over Detroit. If those scores hold, and there's a long way to go, the Brewers would come back from 5 down on Labor Day to beat the Cubs for the division. And we'll keep you posted on all the scores. Rob King in our AT&T Sportsnet studios. He's going to have an update on the National League West, the Rockies score and the Dodgers score, coming up in just a bit. And the Pirates have secured a winning season with that Marlins game canceled. At worst, they'll finish 81-80. But with the win today, it could be 82 and 79 for the final total for the season. And I'm looking forward to next season. We've seen so many good young players improve to the points where it doesn't feel like it's an aberration. It feels like they're just getting better, as a lot of good young players can do. And now they're just good, especially on the pitching side. We've seen.
Certainly, yeah. That was the strength of the team.
And Adam Frazier penciled in at second base. What a great couple of months he had since being called back up, getting an opportunity to play most every day, and being one of the better hitters in the league. Schebler runs, and he's safe. Second steal by the Reds today. One more chance to get dirty.
A tough ball to handle is in the dirt. Schebler took the time to look over his shoulder there, see if the ball was put in play.
Now a 3-2. That's ball 4. That's the fourth walk issued by Holmes. Two on with 2 out for Cincinnati. Well, let's look at our Nissan road ahead. We're back here on March the 28th here in Cincinnati. Of course, the Pirates will participate in the Little League Classic in Williamsport a year from now. The interleague schedule: Pirates will travel to Texas twice and twirl with the Angels in Anaheim as well. And opening day, April 1st at PNC Park against the Cardinals. All coming up in 2019. Thanks for joining us this year here on AT&T Sportsnet and at the ballpark as well. Without the roar of the crowd when there's a big moment, what is a big moment, right? I mean, we've enjoyed it so much having you along with us. And you're going to want to stay tuned for the tail end of the broadcast here today. Our Associate Director Tyler Graham putting together one of the finer, and he's put together some fine ones, but one of the finer year-end montages that you'll ever see. A look back at the season that was.
He is the best, I'll tell you. The year after year.
And also a credit to all the men and women that are a part of our crews throughout the year, and
but especially Tyler.
But especially Tyler's fantastic work. Well, he's been putting it together all year, and but in conjunction with that, the way that we like to say thanks to everybody for putting this all together.
Takes a lot of time, a lot of hard work. Not by us.
Nope. If we had to,
behind the scenes, folks, that's where all the work's done.
If we had to work in the truck, it would probably start smoking. We would.
They have to make the presenters look good.
We wouldn't even know where to put the oil. I don't even. What do you do in the truck? Eh?
It's actually a trailer.
Oh, it's a trailer.
You ever look? Yeah, the truck kind of pulls it around, but it's a trailer.
I see.
I guess you call that technically a tractor that pulls the trailer around.
Okay.
So they work in the trailer, not the truck. The driver's the only guy that's actually in the truck.
They still use VHS tape?
No, I don't think so.
We'd be in trouble. Clay Holmes, who just pitched the other day, wasn't going to go very far today, so Dovydas Neverauskas trying to get up in back of him. 64 pitches for Holmes. Facing Fedorovich, who homered off him his first time around. Gets away from Diaz and back to Holmes, so no advance.
That's a nice block when you can knock it all the way back to your pitcher. One of the not bright spots this year was the wild pitches. We've talked about that quite a bit off and on this year. That's an area that needs to be addressed and cut way back.
Tied for the baseball lead in that category.
Pirates pushing 100 wild pitches this year.
And Holmes comes back to strike out Fedorovich. They'll strand 2, but Cincinnati still leads 3-0. The afternoon and evening, and you see the standings in the Central and West tied to start the day. If they remain tied, there could be 1 or even 2 play-in games, I guess, or at least for seeding, right, to determine the division. All those teams are going to be in the postseason, but of course a much easier road if you win the division.
Who plays who, and do you have to now go to the the wild card, the play-in game, to try and get into an actual series? And everybody wants to avoid that wild card game and go straight to a series, and that's what's on the line this afternoon.
And the Reds allowing some of their more notable players to come out and get an ovation. Only bad throw Suarez made all year. Blake Traha will come on and play for Suarez at third. Congratulations, his season has ended. It was a very good one.
There's a lot of, I'm sure, personal satisfaction for somebody like Suarez, but as you said, the 3rd straight year with a very poor team record. It's got to really grate on some of these players.
Romano is now even 1 ball 1 strike.
Good one.
Now Suarez an all-star this year, but the Reds are going to finish, depending on the outcome today, either 15.5 or 13.5 behind the Pirates. The Pirates play in a tough division. You know, 4 teams with winning records. If they were in the American League Central, there's just one. So, and that's how it shakes out some years. It's been like that really for most of this decade now.
And the Central has turned out to be the power division most years.
And we looked at those standings a moment ago. Whoever is in the wild card from the Central will host the team from the West by virtue of better overall record. And tomorrow, if there are playoffs, it's by virtue of the season series winner. Chicago and LA won those over their division opponents. So those cities would host a game or games tomorrow, which count as part of the regular season. And the Cubs on the board, having the deficit 2-1 in the 3rd inning at Wrigley Field. Brewers still maintain a 2-0 lead. On the lowdown, we'll keep you posted. Leadoff walk to Colin Moran. Trying to get something going for the Pirates here in the 5th inning. MLB at Bat. That's your #1 Pirates app. You can customize your experience to catch every moment. You can get Pirates home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Jose Osuna round into an inning-ending double play his first time around. And he cracks this one to center. Guerrero turning around. It's off the wall. Moran will try to score. And he'll be held at 3rd on that ripping double by Osuna.
Guerrero at one point totally gives up on it. He just turns his back and goes and tries to play for the rebound. And we had no chance of making a play. Yeah, he gives this one a nice ride.
With nobody out, Joey Cora holding up Moran. As it turns out, the relay was dropped. That was after he had stopped his momentum home. And the Cubs have tied it on a wild pitch. So 2-2 in Chicago. And the Brewers, Jesus Aguilar with another home run. 3-0 Milwaukee. I got a feeling like we're going to see 2 playoff games tomorrow.
It's looking that way. That's the way it's shaping up.
The playoff games prior to the postseason. And if there are 2 tomorrow, they'll be at 1 o'clock and at 1:05 to be exact, and 4:09. And if there's just one, it'll be at 4:09 tomorrow. Work productivity around the United States may lag during the afternoon hours tomorrow.
Everything's automated nowadays.
2 in scoring position for Kramer. That's hit out to left. Let's see if Moran can tag here. Yep. And Osuna to 3rd as well. Gets in standing. And a sac fly for Kevin Kramer. The Pirates are on the board.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Osuna. How did he get to 3rd base? A routine fly ball to left and made it easy.
Standing on Schebler's arm.
Schebler, I'm thinking, had to catch that flat-footed. Must not have had any momentum going forward to make a throw. Osuna is off and easy.
Newman robbed of a hit his first time. Oh, he's got 6 weeks of major league time under his belt. Every player you talk to that comes up late in the season feels like they've benefited from their time, whether they were successful, they struggled, or in Newman's case, a little of both.
Experience is at this level, it's a very valuable thing for a youngster to get a hold of. You know, especially when it's leading into what could be a very important series or season for him. If he grabs that job out of spring training, I mean, you're talking about his rookie year, and all this other stuff will hopefully pay off.
Runner at third, still there.
He was trying to hit a ground ball the right side and get the run home, and just didn't hit it hard enough or get it far enough away from the mound.
And Jung Ho Kang will bat for Clay Holmes.
Bringing some pop up to the plate, going for the tie, maybe with one swing.
2 for 5. Pair of singles, got the start yesterday. Got called up for this final series. He was down in instructional ball after having wrist surgery in early August. Played just 16 games down in the minor leagues before getting hurt. And that was amazing. On the second pitch that he saw back on Friday night, after 2 years not playing in the major leagues, and got a pinch base hit.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting 2 hits in his first 5 at bats. Both of them hit decent. One of them a line drive, the second one.
This is going to get in Osuna easily on a VWP. Very wild pitch. Pirates within a run.
Well, wild pitches all around baseball seem to be just going up. You know, the totals every year.
They are.
And it's hard to figure out a reason. Look where that ball bounced. You had 2 catchers there. You couldn't block that.
Don't give anybody any ideas.
I don't know if that'd be legal.
Technically it isn't, so thank goodness. Good block on the backhand by Fedorovich. Kang batting for Holmes, who went 4 innings. 3 runs, 2 earned, and walked 4. Here's nothing but the hits. That was the second pitch he saw on Friday night, then earned to start yesterday afternoon. Staying on it, taking it the opposite way. Got underneath that one. Irvin has the final out. Pirates pick up a pair. Making a 1-run game here in the 5th. at our social media, brought to you by Point Park and Nikki on the road here at Cincinnati. One more on the road. Ruth sending in some of her shots, and yeah, seeing how Chris Archer out there and hanging out with the folks. Mr. and Mrs. Redleg, always hospitable guests here in the Queen City of Cincinnati.
Queen City of the West. Tanner Anderson stepping in. I don't know if he'll finish things up, but guess that would be a little far to go. I imagine he'll be out there for 2 or 3.
Sal Romano is done after 59 pitches. Even 5 innings today. So Kurt Casale. And a pinch hit for him.
I like the stylish leg kick. It's really starting to grow on me a lot. Everybody today has got such a vanilla windup that.
Right, it used to be that was just as much as a batting stance, right?
Oh yeah.
Cubs have their first lead. Look on the lowdown. Rizzo with an RBI double. And Milwaukee still leading 3-0 in their game in the 5th. Tied for the central lead.
Now the leg kick with a guy on is not so good.
Yeah, he will vary up that look.
He'll be a little quicker to plate most of the time. But I have seen him occasionally, even from the stretch, he'll throw that leg up there.
He says sometimes and you will understand the pitching mechanics way better than I would, but he was using it as a weight mechanism, so that if I understand it right, instead of getting his arm out in front of him, he kind of hold him back a little bit more and then come forward. Kind of what a windup is all about, right? I mean, to help you.
Yeah, it's just kind
your
of
momentum,
comfort thing. And
yeah.
I would never be able to get my feet up that far. I'd fall backwards, as everybody knows, if I get my feet up that high.
Well, they'd make a bobblehead out of him if that did happen. Peraza hit just above the elbow.
That was a breaking ball. Didn't have fastball velocity on it, so it might not have stung quite as much.
Definitely smarts.
No, yeah, it still hurts. Like, you know, I don't know what, I didn't look what it was. Let's say it was in the mid 80s. You know, 93 or 85, and that's still going to hurt no matter what. When it's on the elbow, doesn't make any difference. What the off-speed pitch, though, that makes hitters feel better, because in their mind, well, there probably wasn't any intent, because it wasn't a fastball.
So Peraza on after the Harvard graduate hit him.
If you want to be real stealthy and hit somebody, you do it with a slider.
Not that you ever did that, I'm sure.
No, no. If I hit somebody, it was with a fastball.
No stealth about it.
Well, that defeats the purpose of doing a purpose pitch. Doing it in a stealthy way. I mean, that.
Gabriel Guerrero coming in for Hamilton a couple of innings ago. And a delayed tag by Casale.
Paid off. I've never seen a delayed tag before.
Because you usually get thrown out by 30 feet. But sneaky. Talk about stealth. Okay.
See, there was that little hesitation. Was like, no, I'm not really going to go. Oh, yes, I am.
And by then it was too late.
With Marte catching that, moving toward the outfield, or toward right field as he was throwing it, he really couldn't make a throw all the way to third base. To do that, he would have had to come to a stop and plant a foot, get himself together to make that throw to third.
Brandon Dixon batting for the first time. You okay?
I'll make it. Yeah.
Did you just sneeze, laugh, and all sorts of things at once?
That wasn't me.
Oh.
I don't know. That's just some gremlins in the wires somewhere. I think. That's
Oh,
what that is.
okay. Yeah. There's
I
that.
heard it and it made me laugh, but I'm not sure what it was. Gremlins, they pop up every now and then. Tap this box, make sure it keeps working right. I gotta have some coffee.
Yeah. Take a big sip. Oh, almost there. 161. You're going to make it.
Oh yeah, I'll make it.
Yeah.
Brownie's always accusing me of coughing on air on purpose. It's gremlins. That's what does it.
Yeah, I believe it. Now the other guys that don't have that same problem, I don't know. Do you bring those gremlins with you at all, or?
Well, Steve has trouble with the buttons also. They're like switched when he's here. Like the talkback button. When he's he thinks that's the cough button.
At least it doesn't go over there. Get to share that with everybody down in the trailer.
I like that, the trailer.
Yeah.
Say what it is.
Dixon just gets a piece of it.
They're big trailers. They got they got pop outs now. And they're beautiful now.
Air conditioning.
Yeah. Life of leisure when you're working in the trailer.
Anderson on in relief of Clay Holmes with the first 4. So we go from a valedictorian of Slocum High School to a graduate of Harvard. Smart pitching as he strikes out Dixon.
Let the bottom fall out of that breaking ball.
So the first 2 reach, they're still aboard for Blake Traha. Native of Kinder, Louisiana, little town in Allen Parish. Wore the black and gold in high school. Traded that in for red. A Raging Cajun, and now a Cincinnati Redleg. Out to Kramer. Reds get a run.
That was a base hit.
That was how it was ruled.
Wow.
Kramer would tell you that he probably should be charged a miscue on that.
Yeah, that's an error in my book 100% of the time.
I'm keeping it as such in mine too. No earned run there for Anderson in our book. See if he can get through Scott Schebler, who walked twice against Holmes today. Power hitter. Peraza, the lead runner. Schebler hit 30 home runs last year. This year with some injuries, an abbreviated campaign. We're up in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Good baseball area. I've had minor league ball there for years. When's the last time you've been through Iowa? Been a while?
1980, I would say. So it's been a while.
Yeah, were you playing in AAA? Is that what was going on?
Yeah, the old American Association.
Yeah.
Des Moines.
And now
That's where I was when I got called to the big leagues, Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, you were in that city when you got the call. How did you find out? Phone call? Or did the manager call you?
Manager told me.
Who was your manager?
Put me on a spot. Hold on a second. Jim Snyder.
Jim Snyder. Whew. What was the Phillies' top farm club then?
Oklahoma City 89ers.
Oh, wow. Now 3-1 on Schebler. I'm sure that when you got that phone call, they usually come in the middle of the night. It probably woke you up from a dead sleep.
Yeah, I think it did come late.
Now, all these guys, all the Pirates, when they get called up, I always ask their stories. Usually it's 1, 2 in the morning, something like that. Sometimes even later.
Right, you don't mind getting woke up with news like that.
And now the bases are full. Schebler's drawn 3 walks today.
Well, you got to catch that, early morning flight to wherever you're going. So
they want to get you up and at 'em.
Yeah, you're not going to sleep that night anyway.
Justin Message, the assistant pitching coach, coming out to talk with Tanner Anderson after that 2-out misplay has extended this inning. Anderson's needed to probably go some distance today. So probably talking about that strategy.
Yeah, I was thinking 2 or 3 innings for him.
Yeah.
I know he would like to do that.
Sure. Well, here on a Sunday afternoon, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in today's game. Phillip Ervin had a good play out in right field earlier today. Another small town guy out of Leroy, Alabama. Less than 1,000 folks. Small town, but already with 4 major league players, 2 in baseball, 2 in the NFL. And he's got the bases full here with 2 outs. Well, Anderson trying to keep it at a 2-run game now. But there's some activity. Michael Feliz getting up. And he strikes out Ervin to end the inning. Good recovery for Anderson. Reds get a run and they lead 4-2.
Ball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We'll beat anybody's price. Find out more at barrel.com. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
Here from Cincinnati, the Bucco fans trying to enjoy one more. Right now, the Reds are up 4-2. Plenty of time to see a comeback. That was Stephen Brault's dad, Dan, who we got to meet last night. Also got to meet Tanner Anderson's folks who were here today from Tampa, Florida. The Whistler is in. Romano went the first 5. Top of the order in the Bucks 9 with Reyes, Marte, and Bell. Got 2 last inning. Let's see if Reyes can pick up a base hit here. He might be able to finish over 300 today. How about the Dodgers? Well, look at that score on the lowdown. 14-0 in the 5th inning.
I thought you were going to say at the half.
Rockies have only put 1 in the end zone. 7-0 in the 5th inning. Those two teams, I guess, what is it? They really wanted that one more than the other team.
They want to have that face-off. Trying to cover all sports here.
It would be in Los Angeles tomorrow to decide who is the winner of the National League West. Starling Marte 4 hits in the series, including that ripping double.
That would be advantage Dodgers.
Well, they went with Rich Hill today. They were originally going to try to hold him back for a potential 163, but started him today. I'm not familiar with who they would use tomorrow. The same with the Rockies. Maybe Marquez for Colorado.
I was just trying to get the word advantage in there. Tennis.
Oh,
I didn't really think that.
Love. Just love that. Marte sends one deep out to left, and Starling Marte's hit number 20. A new career high. And Marte, the 3rd Pirate with 20 homers and 30 steals in a season.
He's definitely going for it today. Gave a nice little clap of his hand about halfway to first base, trying to get that ball back. They got it.
Talked with him a couple weeks ago about it. He said it's been on his mind. Really wanted home run number 20. Joining Barry Bonds and Andy Van Slyke, Pirates with 20 homers or more and 30 steals or more in a season. Man, it gets the Pirates within a run.
Boy, it's tough to come down to the 6th inning of the last game of the season to do it.
Bell launches one deep and gone. A home run for Bell. Marte and Bell go back to back here in the 6th.
Boy, that was a rip. See what the distance on this one's going to be. That had to be well over 400 feet.
The Pirates' power on display here in the 6th inning. That's Bell's 12th. You can see the kind of power he has when he gets into one.
Yeah, we're going to have to see some more of that come next year. Bell showed everybody that rookie season with the big home run number, what he's capable of doing. Take a look at both of them.
Our Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl.
A fastball that was elevated a little bit, and it was out over the plate, so you could get that arm extension. And once he hit it, there was no doubt it was going to go out of here.
Diaz is happy.
I think he is, yeah.
Look at StatCast, almost 400 feet. That got out of here quickly. 110.
Wow, they hit that one hard. And here's Bells. This one I think got to be over 400 when we see StatCast.
Look at that swing too. That's a thing of beauty when he gets into it. Big uppercutting swing. 403 feet off the bat. Big Josh Bell. Well, Elias Diaz goes quickly from cheerleader to hitter.
Got to be fast on your feet sometimes. Hey, we got a tie score. 4-4 now.
Yeah. And 20 homers, 30 steals in a Pirates season. Andy Van Slyke did it twice. Barry Bonds did it 4 times, and now Starling Marte joins that select list. Power and speed. Well, good for him. He had another good year. .33 steals. And now 20 home runs for Marte. This one stays in the park. And let's check in with Robbie.
Well, I'm holding an official Major League Baseball with Joe and Bob, and this is not just any Major League Baseball. Joey Cora very alertly called to the outfield to get the home run ball back that Starling Marte hit to join the 2030 club, and this is the ball right now, right here. It's about to go to the authenticator in a second, but a very alert move, and Starling Marte is going to have quite a souvenir for his keepsake collection, whatever he calls it, however he wants to do with it. But he's got the ball. Pretty big ball for him.
I love it. I'm glad he got that back, and hopefully a nice exchange with a fan that retrieved that.
I think they just threw it up back on the field right away.
Oh, did they?
It came right back onto the field. And I don't know if it bounced back or if a fan threw it back, but it came in immediately.
No negotiation.
Nope,
for Starling Marte's 20th. Thanks, Rob, for keeping us updated. Here in Cincinnati, Mason Williams taking over in right field on a double switch. And the lefty Amir Garrett is coming on.
Hi, Garrett. Excellent stuff. He is a tough lefty to hit. 71 strikeouts on the year.
And would probably beat everybody in one-on-one in basketball in this ballpark today. Collegiate standout. Celebrations for Marte with his hitting coaches. Jeff Branson, Jeff Livesey. Those hardworking men trying to do as best they can every day to figure out a little tweak here, a little something here. Might make these guys better. And Colin Moran talking about how moving off the plate about a month ago has helped him, and upon the urging of those guys and all the things that happened behind the scenes. There's a number of coaches and specialists that work with the Pirates who all in an effort to try to make the club better, and this year the Pirates were better than a year ago. And if they can continue that trend,
be better next year.
Yeah, maybe the postseason is upon them. Right to Dixon. But the Pirates, Marte and Bell, go back to back and tie the game here at Ford. Brought to you by T-Mobile, and Starling Marte with home run number 20 just moments ago. A big clout for Marte. 20 homers, 30 steals in the season, one of 3 Pirates ever to do that, and a new career high for Starling Marte is the first of 2 home runs. Marte and Bell go back to back, 4-4 on the UPMC scoreboard. Tanner Anderson back out on the mound.
4-4 ball game now. Tanner get through this inning. There's a win out there for somebody.
Anderson's got one earlier this year.
I think we're going to hit another couple home runs today.
Yeah, I think there's a little bug going around now.
Yeah.
Oh, you hit one. Well, I want to hit one.
You want to be the pitcher of record when that's happening.
Maybe Diaz.
Might have a long ball in him.
Already hit his 10th on the trip. Good breaking ball there on Moran. Maybe Anderson will get a bat. Down from the side there, a little quirky angle. And one of the few Ivy Leaguers in the major leagues. Pirates currently boasting 2. With Ryan Lavarnway of Yale also currently on the roster. Herrera. He got all of that one. The Reds retake the lead on the homer by Dilson Herrera.
Ball jumping out of here today, as it always does in this ballpark.
Fifth home run for Herrera.
It's always an impressive looking home run when a right-hand hitter goes to right center. Got a ball up and away. That one got out of here pretty easy. Close to 400 feet.
$24 years old, out of Colombia, former Pirate farmhand. Getting his first big league action in 3 years. Tim Fedorovich is homered today.
Number 8 on the career.
Starting to turn into a little home run derby. On a warm early fall afternoon.
You know, I think that's not really all that unexpected. There's a lot of times in last game of the year, go up there and swing for the fences. And if you connect, end the year with a long ball.
It's one of the few games a year where maybe not playing team ball is just fine.
Yeah, it's
if it's nothing on the line.
Yeah, I mean, you still got to honor the game.
Be intentional about everything, but not, if there's nobody on or whatever, sure, why not take a crack at it. Mason Williams getting his first at bat. Kramer as the second out. Check out the behind the scenes ballpark tour at PNC Park. You can do it year round. You can check out the dugout, the batting cages, press box, even the Pirates clubhouse. Off-season tours now available, and they start tickets due as little as $8. Go to pirates.com/tours. See the ballpark in a different way. Jose Peraza entered the day 3 hits behind Barry Larkin's team record for shortstops. And whenever you're in that kind of company, you must be having a good year. One of the leaders in hits in baseball this year, quite quietly, I think. I didn't quite realize that until this series, that Peraza was up there. And Anderson drops down to strike him out. 4 strikeouts for Tanner Anderson in relief, but the Reds retake the lead.
AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Season finale here in Cincinnati, and the Reds in what is turning out to be a little bit of a home run derby, retaking the lead. But Jose Osuna gets the bat against the lefty here.
Oh, we need more home runs. Osuna certainly capable of leaving the yard.
He's already doubled today. Well, going into next season, it'll be interesting to see what the Pirates do to augment this roster. Overall, a good year, and whether the Pirates finish at 81 or 82 wins, they're about 10 wins off, 8 to 10 depending on the year, but 8 to 10 wins off of the postseason. So how do you make up those 8 to 10 victories next year? Not an easy answer.
Well, no, but I don't think there's one answer. I think it's got to be a combination of things. I mean, you would love to say, well, we hit more home runs next year, we're going to win more ball games, but I do believe that there are other things you can do to help that along.
Down toward the corner, and another extra base hit for Osuna. 2 doubles today, here leading off the 7th.
We've had a very good year pitching wise, but there were some times, especially earlier in the season, where it could be a little inconsistent. It wasn't like you could just count on certain guys to do certain things every time out there. They all had a couple of rough spots. If that can get a little bit better, okay, there's maybe 2 or 3 games. Let's say you cut those wild pitches we were talking about down by even a third. Is that an extra win a month?
Or even if it's just one.
An extra win every 2 months. How about that? Because that giving up an extra 90 feet all the time like they did, I mean, that had to have negative effect on at least a few games. So let's say you got another 2 or 3 wins there. But now you're halfway to your target.
And you'd have to, expect the guys to continue performing like they have. Cervelli, a great breakout season offensively,
but those are things that you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to get better at those things.
Kramer hits one down the line, hitting for his first career home run.
Look at this throw. Wow, that was some arm strength on display right there. It was off the mark a little bit, thank goodness.
Former Yankees prospect, now in his later years in terms of for a prospect status, but that's why they thought so highly of him through those years.
But that was on the bag. Osuna was going to be out. But and then let's say you do find a few more home runs. Okay, let's say, where would that come from? Okay, let's say Bell hits 25 next year.
Yeah, Moran continues.
Moran hits
15
to 20.
Right.
That's not. I mean, those kind of things could very well happen. There's your other 5 or 6 wins. Now you're talking postseason, as long as everything else stays the same.
Another pitching change here at Cincinnati with the Reds up a run. in the 7th inning.
Jared Hughes, what a year he has had. Sub-2 ERA. 78 innings out of the bullpen. Opponent batting average at 207. Could it happen to a nicer man? No. Talked to him today. I ran into him in the tunnels downstairs, just random walking through, and I just forgot what a great, sincere human being that he really is. A nice little discussion. I was talking about what a great year he's had, and he looks you in the eye and he says, yeah, personal success is nice, but it's not like team success. And he very sincere when he says it. I mean, that's how he means that with his heart. He is a team player.
And he signed through next season. A rare multi-year deal for a veteran reliever.
I was really, and I told him I was shocked that a contending team didn't take a strong run at him.
Pirates are going to tie it up. Kevin Newman comes through with an RBI single here in the 7th.
That's what he was trying to do. Remember last time he tried to go the other way, and this time does the same thing. Gets the ball in the air, dumps it out in right field. Wow, look at that ball go down. How do you get underneath to get that ball in the air?
That's what Newman says is he's most proud of, is the hit tool, his ability to make contact, find hits.
I mean, that sinker is the bottom's dropping out of it, and he somehow got it to the outfield.
And right through the right side, perfectly done on the hit and run. Ryan Lavarnway with another pinch hit.
I mean, you almost have to hit and run against any good sinker ball pitcher, because those guys are always around the plate, and you're going to get a ground ball. And so you got to start runners that's going to open up holes, and you got to have somebody at the plate that you're confident with that'll make contact, like a Newman or Lavarnway for that matter. And it's a beautiful thing when it works like that.
He's one of the team leaders in pinch hits this year, Ryan Lavarnway. He's got 4.
Yeah. Been here a month.
Yeah, he's got what, 4 out of 6 now as a pinch hitter. Now Pablo Reyes with a chance to put the Pirates in the lead. Pirates have not led yet today. Briefly tied it in the 6th inning, and then now here again in the 7th. Hughes allowing the inherited runner, now responsible for the 2 men aboard. Marte homered his last time. He would be next. And for Hughes, you talk about the personal milestones, that the under 2 earned run average in jeopardy today. The Brewers with another run, 4-0, and the Cubs with 8 unanswered. So all the division teams, division leaders, all 4 of them in the Central and West, all leading. That's a double play ball. That's what that sinker does. Has been so good for so long. Jared Hughes keeps the game tied for Cincinnati. All the teams that need to win are, as they come into the day tied, they may leave the day tied as well, setting up 2 games tomorrow to decide the division winners head to head.
Neverauskas on to pitch here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 25 appearances now on the season. Seems to be getting a little bit better handle on the control of late.
Entering in a tie game.
Went walking about with the lineup in his hand.
Yeah, both teams using a good bit of their players, mostly the Reds so far. And the guys probably slated to not play today.
Yeah, we kind of started our younger guys, and they did the put the veterans out there and then take them out one at a time deal. So they've made a lot of changes.
Guerrero batted once already today. Number 66 versus number 61. They're on the final day of the season. Next major league game played will be right back here on March 28th, where the Pirates will open the 2019 championship season. Hoping for the same weather.
Probably be just like this, I would imagine.
Short sleeves, sunglasses. And a strikeout to start. Oh, it used to always be in Cincinnati. Remember, they would begin the season
all the time. Well, they're the first team, right?
The original professional baseball club.
So it was right that they started every season.
1869.
But tradition has gone away.
This, I think next year will be my first time for opening day in Cincinnati. So I'm looking forward to it. A lot of pageantry. Neverauskas trying to keep it tight, see if the Pirates can mint their first lead. Nixon came on for Votto, who was applauded as he left the field and took his jersey top off and handed it to a fan.
It's the second time we've seen him do that this year.
That's right. The other occasion wasn't pre-planned like it might have been today.
PNC Park. He made a trade that day. He liked the shirt the fan was wearing, so they traded right there on the spot during the game.
Usually they got another shirt for you. And that's a strike. And back-to-back strikeouts for Neverauskas. Well, it won't bother him if opening day's chilly. Native of Lithuania.
To get cooler.
Yes.
I would imagine. Northern latitude.
Blake Traha. Called strike. reached on an error his first time. They did change that call from earlier, taking an earned run away from Tanner Anderson. Now the Pirates with some couple of other individual achievements. Both Jamison Tyone and Trevor Williams will finish this season in the top 10 in ERA. First pair of Pirate pitchers to do that since Doug Drabek and Randy Tomlin back in '91. Two fantastic seasons. Tyone pitching yesterday.
Starters are always sitting with each other. Well, what happened there?
I think it might have
towed him.
Yeah.
Toe shot.
Let's look at the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. Yeah, it stayed down on him underneath that guard. Right on the right foot. Lavarnway's already been used, so Stallings taking a look and seeing if he might need to get in there. Osuna in foul ground as the final out. So Neverauskas with a 1-2-3 frame. Even through 7. And the Pittsburgh Penguins open their regular season by welcoming Alex Ovechkin and the Stanley Cup champion Washington Capitals to PPG Paints Arena. Our coverage starts at 6 p.m. with a special 1-hour pregame show right here on AT&T Sportsnet. Yeah, it's about hockey time just as baseball passes the torch onto the Pens. UPMC scoreboard 5-5 here in the 8th in the season finale.
David Hernandez, new Hurley for the Reds. See his numbers on this season, and they are very good in 56 games. .203 opponent average. ERA in the mid-2s. But we need to score. 6 outs left to break this tie.
Marte drove himself in last time with his 20th home run.
It took him a while to get number 20. I'm at 21 immediately. He's taking a swing at it. He's going to reach the seats. Big swing. He wants it.
Trying to go for blackjack. Well, I got part of Fedorovich. Oh, right there, yeah, on the shoulder blade.
Yeah. Got him on the back with a backswing. That's why they call it a backswing.
Right. Why do they call that a pop-up?
I've never understood that. Should be a short fly ball.
And just like we promised you, it's time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. Back-to-back home runs for the Buccos back in the 6th inning. And little doubt for either.
No, that was a pop out of the ballpark. And this one, that was really good to see Bell get a hold of that and pull that one out to right center a long ways. Going to the winner with that feeling right there.
Skied to left.
Short fly ball.
Schebler with the second out. Marte, a 20-30 season. 20 home runs or more, 30 steals. Joining Bonds and Van Slyke in Pirates history for that. Elias Diaz with a single in 3 trips. Well, he's certainly capable of sending it out of here too. Diaz really improving at the plate. That was something in his first full major league season that stood out. He had 3 home runs combined last year between AAA and the Pirates. Most he ever hit in the minors in a season was 6. But he's a big muscular guy too, so I mean it's not that surprising to see him figure it out.
One of the very fortunate things we talked about, I think, back in the 2nd inning, 2 catchers that are both such positive players, not only on defense but on offense also. Hard to find that. Not positive with that one.
The veteran Hernandez issues a scoreless frame, keeping the game tied at 5.
By the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
5-5, last of the 8th here from Cincinnati. Colin Moran's beard has its own zip code. It was modeled after Hunter Pence's mean tweets or whatever those were. What were those called back a couple years ago? That's pretty funny.
Well, it's an awesome beard. It's come a long ways this summer, spring training. Made a lot of progress with that. Well, it's numbers this year. First 5 appearances this season or starts.
Michael Lorenzen will pinch hit, looks like, for David Hernandez. Not the first time he's done that this year. He was the starting pitcher yesterday, put up a 0. Yeah, the Reds only have Barnhart and Jeanette left on their bench, and probably want to give those regulars the day off. I see Barnhart down there. And Jeanette, yep, so they're there.
Lorenzen wants to get 2 pinch hit home runs this year.
He's got 2 already.
So is there any significance to 3, I wonder? For a pitcher? Is there like a record or something for pinch hit home runs by a pitcher?
I'd be surprised if it's much more than 2, isn't it?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know.
Maybe they're giving him a shot at something right here at the end.
So go figure. The 2 guys, brawled for the Pirates, Lorenzen for the Reds. They're the guys that you would use to hit. Folks know it here.
This is the second biggest applause of the day. First biggest was the end of the Bengals game.
So the only one that we could find was Brooks Kieschnick, who was an outfielder and pitcher. Kind of converted over to pitching a little bit more. He had 2 pinch hit home runs in 03 with Milwaukee. And then technically Ohtani. So they're both two-way players that have had 2 pinch hit home runs.
Yeah, not to my knowledge, Lorenzen hasn't played the field.
Yeah, he's just straight pitcher. He's going to bounce out. His average will dip under 300 with that bounce out. And let's check back in with Rob King. He's got another game break. Yeah, that's something, Rob, that and Bob, I didn't even think about until yesterday, how Yelich hitting those 2 home runs, thrusting himself with an outside chance at earning the Triple Crown. And remember, he doesn't have just today to be able to do it. It looks like if there is a game tomorrow, that counts as part of the regular season. But so do the Rockies if they're going to play the Dodgers. So there's a number of guys that may be still fighting with him. Baez, of course, for the RBI title ahead of Yelich. It looks like the Cubs are going to play tomorrow too, so still a chance tomorrow, it looks like. Just another one of the many storylines unfolding here as baseball's championship season concludes. One and 2 on Herrera. Five, 8th inning. And he struck him out. So Brault, quick inning, keeping the game tied as we go to the 9th. that made this season. How about the home opener? The memorable home run by Colin Moran, the grand slam, the first of 2 that he hit this season, and a curtain call for the rookie. The beard looks trim compared to today.
Yeah, it's neat. I like all the heavy coats and the knit caps that were on that day.
Oh, it was a cold month of March and April, wasn't it?
Yeah, the shot, I don't guess that was from the splash cam, or I think, and you saw the Riverwalk and how it was kind of bright. That bright. At first, I thought that was snow covering the Riverwalk.
You're going to bring on Iglesias again.
So we did have a little snow at times early April.
He's pitched in every game of this series. Reds going for it today. They're not messing around, and neither is Moran, a gapper. Extra bases for Colin Moran. He'll start off with a double here in the 9th.
It is kind of neat to think that he has made an adjustment moving off the plate, and you're seeing him hit the ball like this here at the end of the season.
Yeah, he's been hitting for average for most of the year, but now the extra base power is showing back up again.
Driving the ball. And what it does, when somebody moves off the plate, it gives them a little longer to make a decision on what to do. If you want to hit the ball hard that's inside and you're on top of the plate, you got to decide to swing so much earlier to get the head of the bat out in front so you can get to the ball and keep yourself from getting jammed. Now you can kind of what they call block, and really just kind of lead with your, if you're left-handed, lead with your right hand, and just kind of like you're pushing the ball off you and try to flop a ball out the other way.
That one hit the other way, but right to Williams. He showed off his arm earlier. No advance, 1 out.
Well, he's got a good arm, but you got to get to third base on a fly ball almost to the warning track in right field. That's Colin needed to tag up and get to third on that. There it is. Yeah, see, where's he going? There's a fly ball to right field, and he's bouncing off toward third base. As soon as that ball was hit in the air to right, he immediately, fast as he can, get back to second, tag up, and move to third.
So now instead of a fly ball maybe yielding a run here,
well, the infield would be in on the grass right now.
Kramer already with a sac fly today. Instead needing a base hit to score Moran. Not a fast runner, so with 1 out, not always an automatic to score him from second. How about Kramer's first home run? Put that in the books before the year is done. Well, it looks like he would bat for himself. He's in the hole right now with Newman on deck. Kramer trying to give the Pirates their first lead. Iglesias still sharp on his 3rd straight day of work to close the season.
Wow.
Good block by Fedorovich.
Yeah. Thought that one was going to the backstop.
Thought it was going to squirt between his legs. He's homered today, the veteran backstop. Kramer called out on strikes. And leadoff double still at second with 2 outs. Well, last time Kevin Newman came up, he was able to drive in a run, cashing in a leadoff double on a good piece of hit.
Yeah, it really was a nice piece of hitting, able to get down and get underneath a nice sinker, and it was probably below the strike zone. It wasn't even a strike. He still was able to get the ball to the outfield.
Now with 2 outs, Moran can go on contact, giving him a little bit of extra speed. And Francisco Cervelli now has moved into the on-deck circle. He would bat for Brault if Newman can get aboard. I guess that would be if Newman gets on and Moran doesn't score. If the Pirates have the lead, maybe they'll keep Brault in. The Reds are pitching this game like it's June. Going with Iglesias for the 3rd straight day, and he strands the leadoff double. Bottom of the 9th, coming up in Cincinnati. With the Reds coming up, and it has been some one-sided affairs for the teams that need to win to try to win their divisions. The Cubs and Brewers both tied starting the day. They've both got big leads, and it looks like they'll be tied tomorrow. The Dodgers up if they can hold a 15-run lead in the 9th. And the Rockies up 9 in the 8th. So it looks like all the leaders are going to win and to play head-to-head tomorrow to decide both the Central and West divisions in the National League.
Yes, that's what it should come down to. One game head-to-head.
Those games would be in Chicago and Los Angeles. And here in Cincinnati, Michael Feliz to try to keep the game tied. Tim Fedorovich, who homered earlier today, is the first man up. Williams and Peraza due to follow. Either the Reds will end their season with a walk-off win, or the Pirates will have an extra innings victory. Kevin Newman's hit tied it. There's one out. Fedorovich down on strikes. Pirates have struck out 11 Reds today.
I don't know if it was you or Brownie I was talking to about Feliz and picking up the pace. Seems to be working much quicker now than he was in the past. Just getting the ball and throwing it.
Got a good fastball, good slider.
I think his fastball, though, not to disagree completely with it, but I think his fastball has slowed down as the season's gone.
Well, the velocity is different,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about from the whole season that we've seen. Yeah, I mean, see it with a fresh arm and in February how he looks.
Yeah, coming out in when the season started, and with his strikeout numbers before the trade, I mean, he was definitely a power guy, throwing in upper 90s.
Yeah, 95 and 6 was more regular for him.
He seems to be throwing a few more breaking balls now.
'93 gets a twirl. I might have tweaked a little something there.
How about that if you hurt yourself in the 9th inning of the last game of the year?
Probably won't go on the DL.
No. Better not.
No, you wouldn't want that to happen. Everybody looking forward to some rest and relaxation. I'm sure the bodies take quite a toll over really 7+ months, including spring training. The 2018 Pirates. Couple of strikeouts for Feliz.
Both of them on good breaking balls.
Neither team wants to be done just yet. A good slider down underneath his hands. Not sure if Williams is quite right. Big Joe, Ryan Lavarnway. Those really aren't my style, he said. Trying to SoCal it up. Peraza hitless in 3 trips, also clipped with a pitch today. Jackson Stevens, who is not allowed to run in September, starting to warm up in case there is a 10th. Right now it's looking as such. Feliz a strike away from taking us to extras. And he strikes out Peraza, but he runs well, and Diaz can't throw him out. It's off of Bell's glove. I don't know. I think that throw might have beaten him, but he's safe, and the inning continues.
Kind of surprised he didn't turn and head to second on that one. See the wild pitch, and the throw goes over next to the fence. With 2 outs in the 9th inning, I thought for sure he would turn and run. He sees it right there over his shoulder. Decided to stay at first base. Goes as a good thing for us.
Goes as a strikeout on a wild pitch. So 3 strikeouts in the inning for Feliz. It will continue with Guerrero 0 for 2. Puts the winning run on. In one of the least likely ways to reach. Big cut. Broken bat. And we'll go to the 10th inning. Neither club wants to say goodbye just yet. 5-5, 10th inning on its way.
By your Western PA Chevy dealers, proud sponsor of Extra Innings. Let's go Bucks!
Don't often see extras in the series finale, the season finale. 5-5 here at 10th inning, and it looks like Mason Williams indeed was hurt for the Reds, so Brandon Dixon will move from first base out to right field and replace him.
Hey, you see somebody take a big swing and they grab their back.
Gold Glove catcher Tucker Barnhart now in at first.
There's something wrong, so he's out of there. Jackson Stevens on with his .300 opponent average and 5 ERA to try and keep the Pirates off the board. Feliz will lead things off.
Want to keep him in for a second inning. Relievers don't get a chance to bat very often. Now, the Pirates have several pinch hitting options, but the Reds don't. They have just Scooter Gennett left on their bench here in this September game. Feliz lifetime 0 for 2. Second at bat of the year.
There's that swing, and where he could tell he grimaced, and then he started. He just went off. And he stood there for a while, stretching around. Hurt something.
And Feliz still bidding for his first big league hit. come out and pitch the bottom half. Pablo Reyes is 0 for 4. And Reyes toward the gap. Dixon can't get it. Backed up by Guerrero.
Oh, go to third. Go to third.
There goes Pablo. And he's in at third with 1 out. That's a costly mistake for the Reds.
That could be the ball game there. 90 feet away, just 1 out.
A double and an error on Guerrero.
Oh, look at that. He kicked that ball away so far. You know, Reyes even had the ability to round third on this. That's how quick he got there.
Infield comes in. And Marte right at Traha for the 2nd out. Hard hit, but right at a guy with that infield in. Now they can back up with 2 outs.
Reyes, he knows he's got a single, but then as soon as he saw that ball bounce, take it off, saw it kicked around.
Picked up his coach.
Yeah, now he's actually turned around the bag and looked to see if there was some more hijinks going on. We needed a little more hijinks there.
About a ball in the dirt or a base hit here by Bell.
Take any of those things.
Bell is homered today.
Any kind of a base hit will get Reyes home. It could be a swinging bunt. Doesn't matter. Oh, he is way down the line.
And Traha's playing off the line at third.
And Reyes took advantage. He came almost halfway.
To the point where if he wanted to steal home, he could if he got a little farther than that. More modest lead now.
No, you can go as far as the third baseman goes, that's for sure. If he's 30 feet off the bag, why can't you be 30 feet off the bag?
Especially if you get that foot speed. Watch him break. Bell ahead of the count. Now Stevens is not allowed to run in September in his previous 7 outings. That is in jeopardy here after 1 out double. A walk Bell intentionally to put runners at the corners. And Danny Darwin, the interim pitching coach, going to come out and have a conversation. They would rather face Diaz here.
Moran on deck, so they definitely want to go after Diaz.
Pirates trying to crack this tie here in the 10th. Pirates have not led today. That could change. Reyes at third, Bell at first.
I want a double steal. That would be a great way to winning run across the last day of the season.
Dodgers coast to a win. Looks like the Rockies will do the same. Both will be flying to Los Angeles to play tomorrow afternoon. Barring a 12-run comeback by the Nationals in the 8th inning. After the intentional walk, 2-0 on Diaz. Moran with a double to right center his last time. Hoping he gets a chance. To the backstop. And Reyes to the plate for the Pirates' first lead of the night.
Kind of fitting, isn't it? Wild pitch.
Perhaps the final run of 2018 scores on a wild pitch.
Take a look at it. Looks like a breaking ball, down and away.
Six-5 Pirates in the 10th. And now 3-1. Well, moving to second. A chance for an insurance run. Reyes getting to third on that error by Guerrero, setting up the run. And a walk to Diaz. Moran will get an opportunity here with 2 aboard.
Another one of those gap shots like he hit last time would be just perfect.
Sew it up.
And we don't have to worry about any solo home runs, anything like that. The bottom of the 10th. No insurance run. 2 would be great.
By the way, how about every team that needed to win today? The 4 division leaders all scoring double-digit runs today.
They were on a mission. They were on a mission.
Looks like they'll all win. Closest game is the Cubs leading 10-4 in the 7th. Looks like the 2018 season for the Pirates would end with Felipe Vasquez. The first pitch was thrown by Ivan Nova in icy Detroit.
Hopefully Vasquez throws the last pitch today and the last pitch here in game 1 next year off the same mound.
That's right. March 28th. Another early opener as the closer gets prepared. From a red to the Redbeard. Splintered bat and caught by Trahan. That was a good play. Perhaps saving a run, but the Pirates get one across, take a 1-run lead to the bottom of the 10th. first lead of the game, trying to win the finale.
Well, thought this was going to be the insurance. Yeah, that wasn't hit all that hard, but just the direction. Look, you could just see that little blooper coming in. And I thought that would even out. Remember earlier in the game where Colin lined out to first base? I mean, hit just a bullet down the first time. I thought, there it is. That's going to be the little jam shot blooper that's going to even things out, but didn't fall in. And I'm sure in his mind that's what he was thinking. I hit one hard. It's supposed to fall in.
Dixon, Traha, and then Schebler coming out for the Reds. He started the year as Felipe Rivero, ending the year. And this final game.
That's a long season.
That's the hope. Yeah. For Vasquez. Another good year working the final frames for the Pirates. There are a few better. Now to Reyes, diving for the first out.
Well, he's made what, about 3 of those kind of catches already in his short time. The first 2 out in right field, this one at left.
He scores the go-ahead run and prevents one from getting aboard.
Yeah, this ball's hooking away from him. Maybe even a little top spin to give it some sink once it gets out there. He had to commit to that with the head first dive.
One big out here in the 10th. Traha, who made that leaping catch to end the top half. Gets that nightmare experience. .100 miles an hour. That's a thing of beauty.
Took Felipe a little while to unlimber that big fastball this year early on, but I don't think he's gone out there for an appearance and not thrown at least one ball up in triple digits this year. Well, once he got there.
It's the call on 101.
That was it May or something like right around that area where he broke 100 mile an hour for the first time of the season, and then he just went crazy with it. 101.
Two outs and an out away for the Pirates, ending the season with a win. After they get their first lead in the top of the 10th, the Pirates hope to shake hands one final time. Left on left for Schebler. Twisting toward the seats.
Yeah, that'll make it in.
Late season souvenir.
Could that be the last one of the year?
Rockies win 12-0 on the lowdown. And the Dodgers win 15-0 in those must-win game. So it will be the Dodgers hosting the Rockies tomorrow in a game 163 to decide the NL West. And the loser will be the wild card, who will travel to the NL Central wild card team. And that has yet to be decided, but it looks like the Cubs will host the Brewers, so long as those scores hold up, to decide the NL Central tomorrow. These teams will just watch. For Clint Hurdle's boys, 82 wins, maybe beating expectations, still a little short, but a fun season because we got to do it together. Bob, I've enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Same by me. And it has been an interesting year where the team, I think, did push the limit a little bit. Not a lot of expectations. They got above 500. The pitching staff looks fantastic for next year. A couple little things here at the end. Edgar Santana, that was a tough one to have happen, but still the pitching situation looks